That's right.
The Lion's Den radio show. So we showed y'all some prophecy. Now we about to get into prom. We about to get into prom, the history of prom, because y'all know what time of the year it is. It's that May, March time of the year when everybody likes to have their little prom dance, and you know it's a lot different than when y'all went back in the early 90s and the 80s and the 70s. We finna show y'all it's getting crazy out here, y'all. It's getting crazy, and we got to expose it. It is what it is. That's what we here to do. We got to show our people that they're going the hell off.
Hey, Cap.
Yeah.
You know what's getting crazy? If you go to a graduation, then they break out and twerk.
Damn.
Y'all seen that
At
video?
a graduation.
Yeah, it went crazy. At a graduation?
That's trash.
Right. So just imagine prom.
Right.
I was talking to somebody about graduation. They wearing basketball shorts and they dressing like they finna go hoop. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, man.
Hoop after the
that's the world
ceremony.
we live in now. That's the world we live in now. Let's go to that first video pertaining to prom. Let me see what number it is.
They dangerous.
Yep, there you go. Prom. So if you didn't know what prom is, like I said, it's a dance. Nowadays, it's a dance for seniors and juniors. And it comes with a lot of stuff. It ain't what it used to be. Go ahead, press play.
Crazy.
Wasn't always about the dress, the limo, and the promposals. But what it's definitely been about is controversy. Whether it's teen drama or something a bit more complicated, like how society, to some, is meant to function. Believe it or not, prom was meant to introduce young women to polite society and its eligible men, and put them on display for potential husbands.
Pause.
Wow.
So what I want to get y'all to see is prom actually started off as when you were courting back in the day, young women would present themselves to men. That's when you had order, you had fathers, you had structure. All right. But even before that, which it's going to show you, it goes back to Grecian. Everything goes back to your oppressor. So don't think it's some great history. No, it goes back to your oppressor. It goes back to debauchery and all that. But I'm showing you the how it just devolved or devolved into what it is now. Go ahead, press play.
When young people began going to prom in the late 19th century, it wasn't yet a dance for high schoolers. Prom, short for promenade, was originally an event for college students in the Northeast that had its root in debutante balls of high society.
Pause. Leave that on the screen. Y'all see how they dressed? Do y'all see how they dress? So don't give me this pants stuff and all. No.
Right.
Y'all know that ain't how women supposed to dress.
It's too hot.
That ain't how classy women dress. Go ahead.
And have evolved from semi-formal end-of-the-year dances held in school gyms to become a $1 million industry encompassing limousines, flowers, photography, special attire, and over-the-top invitations. That being said, early proms were governed by the same rules and dress codes as debutante balls were. They were racially segregated.
Uh-oh. So guess what? Your prom that you spending $20,000-$40,000 on, you couldn't even do it before.
Damn.
You couldn't even do it. It was segregated.
Why you got to put a race card?
Right. So that's why the Bible say, know your history, Negro.
Right.
Know what you spending all your money on. And the reason why they do this, our people, the reason why we so stuck in these things is because we don't have anything.
Right.
Because we don't have a Passover.
Right.
Because we don't have a Pentecost.
Right.
Because we don't have a wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
So you put everything in the prom knowing that, ain't no wedding for me. Ain't no feast day for me.
Right.
All I got is Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm going to go all out for this.
Right.
Because think about it. After your prom, what's the next biggest thing in your life? Most people don't go to college.
Right.
You ain't got college graduation.
That's it.
Everybody else do Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that. So prom is it.
Yep.
That's the last time you can show out in this world for a lot of our people.
Last time.
Damn shame. Go ahead. Press play.
Now before we start judging and pointing fingers and canceling dates, let's go back and get into the nitty-gritty of prom history. The concept of a celebratory event for young people traces back to ancient Greece.
Pause. You see that? Everything you do. Give me Proverbs 3:31.
Bring it out.
Everything you do goes back to your oppressor. That's what we be telling y'all. Why y'all always getting on us about that? Because that ain't your history. That ain't your heritage.
Right.
Everything you do From the clothes you wear to the dances you go to to the music you listen to, your oppressor gave it to you.
Right.
Understand that.
And Cap, that's why it's very heavy when we go out and teach our people. You are stripped of your nationality.
Right.
Everything that you think you know, the oppressor gave it to you.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. But they want to fight with us.
Right.
Give me that. Proverbs 3:31.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Hold on, do what?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. Read.
And choose none of his ways.
Hold on, how many of his ways?
And choose none of his ways.
The Bible say choose none of his ways.
Right.
Even his prom.
Right.
Don't choose it. And a lot of our brothers and sisters out there, young in this truth. I know it's one couple I see online, they Israelites, and it was sad. It broke my heart. She an Israelite. She posts about being an Israelite every day. They ain't with us. But I see she got blonde hair. She put on the dress and they went to prom. I said, "Do you see that? You ain't taught well. You still got to be taught. But y'all got to understand where these things come from.
Right.
Prom ain't in the Bible.
Go ahead. Cap, can I back you up?
Go ahead.
Hey, go to First Maccabees, please, good sir. 1 verse 1. And then we jumping down. Read that first, please.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1.
Yep.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
Keep going.
Read.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
The first over who?
The first over Greece.
The first over Greece, right? Now jump to verse 9, because the reason why Cap is hitting on this point, because it says that this thing started from Greece, right? So we going into the Bible to show you what else came with Greece. Read that.
Verse 9.
Yep.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Read.
So did their sons after them.
Right. So it's talking about the prominent rulers that came after Alexander, the Grecian or the Greek rule at this time. Read on. What else came with it?
So did their sons after them many years. And evils.
And what?
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
And evils were multiplied in the earth. So the reason why they take a lot of the Greek history out of the Bible is because it shows you that a lot of the evil started to spread throughout the earth. A part of it is what we see right here. Everything that we got from Greece was evil. All right? Read
100%.
That. I mean, that's it.
Press play. Press play on the video.
The concept of a celebratory event for young people traces back to ancient Greece, when formal banquets called symposia were held for elite men to honor their transition into adult society, often featuring lavish dinner parties, theatrical performances, speeches, debate, music, and general revelry.
Pause.
It is.
Speeches and general revelry. Do you know what reveling is? Give me that. What's that? Romans
13.
Romans 13.
Yes, sir.
I want reveling. I want reveling.
13 or 14. One of 13, I think.
Make sure I got the right precept now. Come on now.
Shoot from the hip.
Oh yeah. Make sure we got the right precept. I won't reveling. That's right.
It might be First Peter 4.
Yeah, First Peter 4. That's why I was going. I knew it.
You in the spirit.
But you know, you study. You got a 95 on the 50 test. You know. First Peter.
4 and 3.
Yep. First Peter 4 and 3. Let's get it. Start at verse 1.
First Peter chapter 4 and verse 1.
This got to be our mindset when we doing these things, because whether it comes to Christmas, it's the same thing. Reveling, drinking, partying, young men, and all this other stuff. It all goes back to that sexual lasciviousness that they get into.
Right.
All of their holidays, they all lead to the same thing. Never will you read, this goes back into how you build up and honor the God of Israel.
Right.
You won't find it. Go ahead.
First Peter chapter 4 verse 1. For as much then as Christ have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
Read.
For he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin.
Read.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men.
But what?
But to the will of God.
All the stuff we just watched, what happened in ancient Greece, was to the will of man. The stuff that we see in today, the cars, the photos, the dresses, the suits, it's to the will of man. It's so that they can fulfill themselves. Read.
Verse 3, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
Let's see if prom is the will of Gentiles or the will of God. Read.
When we walked in lasciviousness.
Hold on, what?
When we walked in lasciviousness.
Lasciviousness, sexual sin, sexual immortality, read.
Right.
Lust, read.
Excess of wine.
What did it just say? It just said excess of wine. It literally said that. Read.
Revelings.
Hold on, what?
Revelings.
Revelings. That's partying, clubbing, dancing, grinding, all that twerking.
Right.
Read.
Banquetings. And abominable idolatries.
And abominable idolatries. Because guess what your idol is on these prom days? You become your own idol.
Right.
You become your own idol. These parents, they idolize the children. You spending $30,000, $40,000 on one night.
Crazy.
You whoring out your daughter for one night, letting her leave the house with a dress, her titties out, her ass out, slit down the middle. You mean to tell me you think she gonna act like a lady dressed like that?
Right.
Come on, man. You got to be kidding me. Read.
Verse 4. Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you.
Right, and when you're not doing it, they're going to speak evil of you. They're like, why you not doing what we do? Because guess what? When in Rome, you do as the Romans do.
Right.
But guess what? We don't woke up. We ain't doing what the Romans do no more. Go ahead, press play on that video.
Gatherings also involved excessive wine drinking. Ancient Romans celebrated a young man's coming of age with a similar banquet called a convivium. In the 18th and 19th century Europe, women participated in aristocratic formal dances and balls that grew in popularity, with debutante balls becoming common as coming-out ceremonies for the elite. The first American prom. According to the Oxford dictionaries, the word promenade, defined as a leisurely walk or place of walking, is also used to describe movements in ballet and ballroom dancing. It morphed in the late 19th century when promenade concerts often included attendees dancing in formal attire during Ivy League college festivities. Although it's not clear who hosted the first American prom.
All right, pause that. You can take that off. Take that off. Go to the next video. So that's where it comes from. Ancient Greece.
Right.
Ancient Greece. All right. Yep. I just want to read the first 2 lines on this. I think you got to read it, Daniel, because he ain't got it over there.
Can't see it.
How prom traditions have evolved through history.
He can't read it.
I got you.
Okay.
Prom wasn't always about the dress, the limo, and the prom proposals. Promposals.
And I want y'all to see it's all white people. I see white people.
White people.
Notice that. Notice that. Go ahead. Keep scrolling down. Yep, right there.
Prom, an iconic rite of passage for many teenagers, has been a tradition celebrated by students since the late 19th century. Short for promenade, proms are modeled after the debutante balls of high society and have evolved from semi-formal end-of-the-year dances held in school gyms to become a billion-dollar industry.
Hold on, say that again. What? $1 billion?
A billion-dollar industry encompassing limousines, flowers, photography, special attire, and over-the-top invitations.
Now I'm finna show y'all, after this, I'm finna show y'all who's this billion-dollar industry being made off of. Because guess what? It ain't the white man.
Right.
The white man ain't doing what Jake takes something and we take it to the next level.
Right.
Read early origins.
Early origins of prom. The concept of a celebratory event for young people traces back to ancient Greece, when formal banquets called symposia were held for elite men to honor their transition into adult society, often featuring lavish dinner parties, theatrical performances, speeches, debate, music, and general revelry.
You see that? Reveling. Ain't that something? Reveling is right there in front of you. Read.
The gatherings also involved excessive wine drinking. Ancient Romans celebrate a young man's coming of age with a similar banquet called a convivium. In the 18th and 19th century Europe, women participated in aristocratic formal dances and balls that grew in popularity, with debutante balls becoming common as a coming out ceremonies for the elite.
So notice this originally was for the white elites, white elites over here in America. And let's see, go off that, go to the next one. Let's see who's taking it now. Yep, press play on that.
School prom getting out of control. Have y'all seen the high school proms? You cannot go to high school prom now without a budget. Last year, this kid's mom asked me to film his high school prom, right? He pulled up in a Rolls Royce, had a red carpet, and had a driver. Now looking back on it, that was light. That was his junior year. His mom said his senior year, they're trying to get an approval so the helicopter could land at the school. I seen somebody on a moving bus in a box. I seen a girl dressed with all the $100 bills made out of it. Some girl said her dad flew to Nigeria to get the dress made because hers ain't come in time. Bro, what the this is what I wore to my prom. I thought it was clean. Nice little matching set with your date. No. If you go to prom dressed like this now, you getting laughed out the building. You getting laughed out the building, bro. I'm talking about people pulling up in horses and carriages. When did y'all get so much freedom to do all this? High school prom.
Pause. You see that?
Damn.
You see what he said? I love what he said at the end. And you know what? There's two reasons why this is happening. There's two reasons.
Get out.
One is because of lack of identity.
Yes.
Right.
Because we don't know who we are, we got to put our all into something so that we can have some type of self-worth.
Right.
This is how we have some self-worth. All right? So it's a lack of identity. And two is because they want to be the white man so bad, which really goes back into point one, which is lack of identity.
Right.
Give me that in Daniel 9:7, confusion of faces. And notice, how many white people did y'all see on that video?
None.
0. Ain't that something? Zero.
Right.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the man with actually all the money, he ain't spending his money on no prom.
Nah.
He ain't even going to prom.
Hey, Kat, remember back in the day they used to have a show called Sweet 16?
Yeah.
And the majority of the over the top was black.
Damn.
Always black. Helicopters, limousines, all kind of crazy. Who could get the biggest artists at that time?
Yep.
I remember that.
Always.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dang, that's crazy. I ain't even think about that.
That's true.
I ain't even think about that. Dang. Go ahead, read that.
Daniel chapter 9 and verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee.
Righteousness belongs unto us, which is what? Passover, Pentecost, tabernacles, weddings.
Right.
Weddings belong unto us. Oh, that was the other point. I said it was a lack of identity and the love of the white man. But the second part is we put all our investment in physical into this prom night instead of marriage.
Right.
Because we don't know what marriage is and what it looks like, they try to make this into marriage. Because guess what you got to have on prom? You got to have a date.
Right.
You got to have a date. And guess what you having after the date? You have sex. Which is crazy. The parents are okay with that. They know the tradition. They know the custom. And they still do it. And they send them out the house to go do. It's crazy.
Horn out your daughters.
The crazy part too is the reason why a lot of parents do it is because they like, well, I did it.
There you go.
So I don't want my daughter or my son to be robbed of this experience. So they should be able to partake in this thing too. That's why they go all out, because they feel like they reliving it through their sons and their daughters.
Wow.
It's crazy.
You pulled another precept.
Hold on, we ain't even ready yet. Go ahead, read that. But get it ready. I want all the precepts. Bring it out. Go ahead. Read that Daniel 9:7. Finish it.
Daniel chapter 9 and verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces.
You see that? We got confusion of faces. We the people with confusion of faces. Now we dressed up looking like a clown show for something that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Right.
This is just as bad as you joining a Greek fraternity.
Yeah.
Right.
You celebrating the ways of your oppressor.
Greeks.
But unto us belong the confusion of faces. Read.
As at this day, to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem,
Read.
and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off,
Read.
through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against thee.
Hey, shalom, caller. What's your name? Question or comment? Where you calling from?
Al Cinder, Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Luau Cinder, my brother, our number one caller.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys make it out.
Good.
I enjoy the show every week, and that Tuesday night show, man, that's a good show, man.
All praise.
Yeah, I enjoy that show too. But about what you were saying, man, it all comes back to who got the microphone.
Right.
Who has the microphone? The black pastor.
Right.
The black pastor ain't saying nothing against no proms and how these girls go out there, man, collecting this money. I'll tell you a story that happened today. A woman preacher got up, and it's already Sunday, so she got 2 strikes right there. Then she passed over 11:23 Romans about the grafted in.
Right.
And my brother tapped me. He said, "Bro, look, she didn't say again. She just said, yeah, and grafted in." And we just said, my brother called me on the phone because God knows I don't even go in places like that. So he called me on the phone. He said, "Bro, she read the thing and she didn't put again in it."
Yeah.
So she didn't want to know about the Northern Kingdom being reconciliation and all that.
Right.
So she lied to him and just said, what you call it, adopted in.
Right.
Whatever they, adopt. She refused to say again. But anyway, I want to pass this by you guys right fast. On that one we familiar with, Romans 9:3-4, when he say, "Who are Israelites pertaining to?" When he say pertaining to, and he say the service of God. So if he's saying the service of God, is he meaning like Saturday morning a Chinese man get up and go serve the God of Israel? Because he's saying that the service of God is to the Israelites. So what is he saying? I mean, the church in the wilderness, what is it? 738 Acts, whatever it is. I think it's Leviticus 26,
25, 45. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever they did, when Moses came down off the mountain and all that.
Right.
So what I'm saying, if he say the service of God, I know he say a number of things. I'm just picking out the one that say, I know he say adoption, glory, and all that. But the one that when he says service of God, just what is he meaning right there? I mean, what you do, you go sing a song to him, you pray to him. But I mean, if you're saying the service of God is to the Israelites, so what? I mean, does that kind of like, what is he saying? That the Edomite can't get up on Saturday morning and go praise the God of Israel?
That's exactly what it's saying. That's exactly what it's saying. You got it.
I just want to get a clarification on that.
All praise.
Anyway, man, I enjoyed the show, and like I say, bro, a slightly thing. This ain't gonna take but a second. On that 1928 Matthews, when he says you're gonna be sitting on the throne with me, so that means they're not liars. You're gonna be judging the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Right.
So is Jesus saying that the judgment is for the 12 tribes of the children of Israel?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So there's no judgment day for Esau?
No, they already judged. The judgment is set.
Right.
So if that Esau hated in his mother's womb and never even got born yet,
there you go.
9/11?
Yep.
Son of
Good
perdition.
Lord have mercy. Boy, I'm glad I ain't know you to
All praise.
Hey, man, y'all take care. I love the show, man. Take care.
All praise to the Most High. Hey, shout out to all our faithful callers. Brother Lou Alcindor, he called every week. Watch the show. All praise to the Most High. Shout out to all our faithful listeners. We really do appreciate y'all for tuning in because Bishop and I say it all the time. Without y'all, it ain't no show. Right. It ain't no show. We don't do this for ourselves. We do this for the people. So all praises. So where's we at? Where's that Daniel 9? You was finna go somewhere.
Yep. Hey,
hold on before you do that. Luke 16 and 15.
Yep.
Luke 16 and 15. I got to bring
Leave
this
that
out.
up there. Leave that up there.
Came to my spirit real quick. Luke 16 and 15.
All right. Yeah, I want to say something about that.
Yep.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 15.
Come on.
And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men.
Read.
But God knoweth your hearts.
Read.
For that which is highly esteemed among men.
Prom, which is highly esteemed among men. Read.
Is abomination.
Hold on, what is it?
Is abomination.
How do you think God feel about his young daughters, 16, 17, being dressed provocatively, out of order?
Right.
The men sleeping with his daughters on a night and don't give nothing about them.
Right.
They spending all their money on an idolatrous night to go do whatever. No, that's an abomination to God. Go ahead, Austin.
I was just looking at the comments. Yeah. Way too much competition in school nowadays.
Right.
Kids don't even go to college.
Pull it up on the screen, y'all.
Yeah, put this on the screen. Kids don't even go to college. All this with no life insurance.
Hey, shalom, caller.
Hey.
What's your name? Question, comment. Where you calling from?
My name's Sarita, calling from Atlanta.
ATL.
Yeah.
What's your question or comment, sis? You defending Prom?
No, I didn't go. I didn't even go to Prom.
All praise.
My comment is, I'm so tired of these super black parents always making a big deal about this prom.
Right.
Dressing their children up in all these crazy outfits just to go to prom for one night. One little night. But they don't put no emphasis on them obeying God's commandments.
Right.
All they want to do is show off their little outfit for that one night, trying to act like they rich and stuff.
Right. That would it come down to.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I didn't even go to prom.
Right.
The slaves back in the day didn't go to prom, so why you think they need to go on to prom like that? It's crazy.
Yep. Right. It is. It's sad. All praise, sis. Thank you for calling in.
Get Titus 1:15. Titus 1:15. This is. I'm just looking at it. This dude got a damn. I didn't see this the first time. He got a damn Star Wars, Star Wars helmet on.
I think that's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
He said Star Wars.
Regardless, he look like the monster of Star Wars. This is crazy.
Chewbacca.
Yeah, read that.
Titus chapter 1 and verse 15.
Come on.
Unto the pure, all things are pure.
Read.
But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure.
Nothing is pure. When you look at this generation today, these YNs and whatever you want to call them, nothing is pure. Nothing is pure coming out of prom. Read.
Right.
But even their mind and conscience is defiled.
Their minds are defiled. This ain't doing nothing but defiling our children more and more. And you simple parents that's allowing your children to do that. You defiling your children. You willfully allowing your daughters to go out there and get smashed and come back home like nothing happened. Go ahead. Read.
Verse 16. They profess that they know God.
All of you Christians profess that you know God, but you allow your children to go to prom. Read.
Right.
But in works, they deny him.
By keeping prom, you deny the Lord. Read.
Being abominable and disobedient.
Read.
And unto every good work reprobate.
Y'all are reprobate. If you think that your kids can celebrate prom and everything gonna be good, that the Lord is okay with that, you are reprobate, and everything is abominable about that. The Lord hate that thing.
Yep. Hey, somebody, Gazelle Nettle said these kids barely know the ABCs, and who has this kind of disposable income? That's the thing I'm looking at. I'm like, where does all this money come from?
Right.
Where do these black people live at? Y'all need to join the congregation. Because the Booster Club be taken care of. Bro. That's why I'm telling y'all, Israel, we got money. A lot of y'all got money. Y'all playing games, man.
Right.
Y'all playing games because these be the same people that's coming out of these lifestyles. Y'all can blow $20,000 on prom, but can't get $20 to the Booster Club.
Crazy.
It don't make sense, bro.
Stacks.
Don't make sense. Play that second video real quick.
Okay, get one real quick.
We're gonna get to it.
Triple stack.
Go ahead.
No.
It gets better. I want to get the video. Hey, shalom, caller. What's your name? Question, comment. Where you calling from?
Shalom, I'm calling from Maryland.
Hey, what's going on, sis?
Maryland.
I was just funny that y'all just went over. Y'all just said the disposable income situation.
Right.
Well, I work for a loan company, right?
Oh no! Don't tell me they're getting loans for this stuff.
Wow.
Listen, and I had a sister. She came in, Jake's sister, and she was all distraught. She was like, I got a lot going on, and my son's prom's coming up, and I really gotta. And I'm just blankly staring at her, And as you know, I was able to, get her approved or whatever. But as I'm looking at her credit report, right, as I have to,
right,
the sister's behind on her car payment, mortgage behind, and you sitting here worried about going into debt to do God for your son to do God knows what.
Wow.
Yep.
Sis,
for what?
we thank you for that insight, sis.
Yeah.
We can only think that was happening, but we got proof now.
Right.
People getting loans
Max
for
out
prom.
credit cards.
Wow.
Crazy. Going to depth for
Yes, sir.
Cap, you didn't hear it. They said in that video.
Thank you, sis.
The brother
welcome,
was
guys.
saying they was trying to get approved for a helicopter.
Oh yeah.
So that's crazy right there.
Shalom, sis.
Approved for a helicopter.
That's ridiculous.
Go ahead. I know.
You want the next video?
Yeah, all right. Play the second one. Play the second one.
The next one.
It's a part 2, I think. Yeah.
We banning prom 2026. They pulling up in caskets now.
Pause. Huh?
What?
They pulling up in caskets.
Damn.
Come on, man. This is crazy.
I guess that's what they mean when they say, I'm going to kill him tonight. I'm going to kill him. Come up in a casket.
Wow.
That's crazy.
We pulling up in caskets. Said my last video that they was trying to do helicopters. Well, they did it, y'all.
Wow.
They did it. They not only bringing a date, they bringing a zoo.
Got a tiger in there.
Alligators and a horse and carriage. That's old news. We bringing camels.
Pause. Bring out your precept, man. 'Cause I got something I want to bring. I
got you. Real quick. 1 Peter 3:3. Just to preface it. So this is talking about the woman, a godly woman, how she's supposed to look and supposed to act, right? Go ahead, read.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 3. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or putting on of apparel.
Keep going.
But let it be the hidden man of the heart.
Read.
And that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price.
So what we're seeing is that our sisters are putting the value on themselves on the outward appearance. Right. Why we put our value on that? It's like you said, because we have no heritage. We don't know our history. We don't know that we're the Israelites, and that means we're the prince of the power of God. So I don't gotta spend $20,000 on the dress and put my value on my outward appearance when I know who I am. You understand?
Right.
That's heavy. Give me Jeremiah.
That's crazy.
Give me Jeremiah 4:22, man.
Loud.
Jeremiah 4:22. This is crazy. And what you said was heavy. Somebody said something about the casket. But yeah, she said a casket is appropriate for the spiritual dead. Damn. That's heavy. That's heavy right there.
Heavy.
Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22. Come on. For my people is foolish.
For what?
For my people is foolish.
Our people is foolish, man. We helicopters, loans. Come on, man. Caskets. Read.
They have not known me.
They have what?
They have not known me.
Read.
They are sottish children.
They are sottish children, dumb children. Read.
And they have none understanding.
No understanding. They are what?
They are wise to do evil.
All of this is evil. All of this is evil. Read.
But to do good, they have no knowledge.
You see that? To keep the actual commandments of God, they don't have no idea what that look like. They don't have no idea what it look like to dress up and keep the Passover the way you're supposed to.
Right.
They have no idea what it looks like to go and get lamb and bitter herbs and unleavened bread and keep it. They don't know how to keep the Sabbath day. But you tell them how to keep a prom, they'll figure that out. They'll figure that out in a heartbeat. It's crazy. Crazy. Go ahead.
Let me get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 7. Because we just saw them on a camel. They had a camel. Somebody had an alligator in their arms. We just saw this. This is Prom 2025, guys. All right. Now, hey, remember that video too of the weak father that had his homosexual son.
I remember that.
Taking him to prom.
I remember
too.
that.
Right. It's getting worse and worse.
Hey, shalom, caller. What's your name? Question to calling. Where you calling from?
Hey, Shalom, Captain Mosiah, Christ bless. This is Officer Stephen from Rochester, New York.
Hey, Act 7 Stephen in the building.
All praises, all praises. Hey, y'all having a heavy class, a heavy teaching right now. You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
Do you remember that old video, How to Sell to a Negro?
Yep, I was going to bring it up.
Yep.
Bring it out.
Back in 1954, they said a Negro he's like, everybody want recognition, but the Negro need extra recognition. And from there, it has been a continual cycle. This man is diabolical, Captain.
Oh, pray you heavy. I literally was just thinking about that. I was going to find it and play it. You in the spirit. You in the spirit, bro. Hey, congrats again on the album, man. Tell the people about the album real quick while we got you.
Bring it out.
Hey, all praises. Act 7 Stephen's path, prophesying against the heathen. You know what I'm saying? It's just a basic introduction to, you know what I'm saying, what's be going on in the streets. Is about uplifting our people, the trauma we go through, the problems we go through. And, of course, you know what I'm saying, some songs to make you dance and, can celebrate these feast days and all that, you know what I mean? So I just try to get a wide range. It ain't just a boom bap album like you think it's going to come with. You know what I'm saying?
All praise. Hey, I listened to the album myself and get a stamp of approval from me. So all praise to the Most High. Thank you for the works. Thank you for tuning in.
That's right.
Yes, sir. I praise to the Most High. Most High, Christ bless.
All praise. This is crazy. All right, read that. This is crazy. Hey, this dude had a mask on, sir. All these things, bro. She came out of a casket, a helicopter. This is crazy.
Bro. You know how much a helicopter costs?
Cap, I can't even imagine. This is crazy, bro.
You can ride one
all
for
that
20
for one night.
on I drive.
This is insane. All right, read that, man.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 7.
Yes, sir.
We wearied ourselves.
We did what?
We wearied ourselves.
We wearied ourselves. The sister called in and spoke about a mother who was trying to get a loan for their child to go to prom.
Crazy work.
We weary ourselves. Back up on payments. You know, after that night, you're going to go into debt. You got to pay that back, right? We are wearying ourselves for this one night. Read on.
We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction.
In the way of wickedness and destruction. Because what you going to get out of this?
Right.
Probably going to get some baby mamas.
Yep.
Right? Now your daughter's getting smashed. You understand? They might put on that whoredom spirit on them. All of these things is going to come from prom night. Ain't nothing good going to come from it. Bankruptcy.
Yep.
Babies. You understand? And whores. That's what's coming from prom. Read on.
Yeah. We have gone through deserts where there lay no way.
You know how we know they going through deserts? Because they had a camel. We going through deserts just so that we can make it happen. Read on.
But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it.
But you ask them, hey, what about marriage? How should a proper marriage? Any of those brothers and sisters you ask on the street, how should a proper marriage be in the Bible? They would never know. Ask them about Passover. They won't know about it. Never heard of it. New moon, never heard of it. But when it comes to the ways of wickedness, we go all out. It's crazy what we see.
Hey, keep reading. Keep reading. It gets better.
Bring it out, Cap.
That's every precept. That's every precept you brought out. Keep reading. Read
Verse 8. What have pride profited us?
Pride. All of this is pride. Because pride is departing from the Most High God. That's what they have done.
Right.
They placed themselves up as idol.
Right.
Read.
Right.
Or what good have riches with our vaunting?
What has they riches done for these people? What has prom done for the black community in the last 100 years?
Bring it out.
Nothing. Read.
Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us?
Read.
All those things are passed away.
All of that passed away because after the night, you wake up the next morning, the helicopter go back to where it was at. The Tesla go back to where it was at.
Right.
The suit go back to where it was at.
Right.
The watch go back to where it was at.
Casket.
The casket goes back. Everything goes back to the white man. And what is the black community left with?
Crazy.
Like you just said, debt, baby mamas, STDs.
Right.
It's a double negative for us. Read.
All those things are passed away like a shadow and as a post that hasted by.
So that's what it leads us.
Heavy.
Nothing but bad things are left for us.
Right.
I want to get through this video because it gets even better. Press play. Well, it works.
Prom breakdowns. I seen somebody pay $22,000.
Pause.
Prom.
22 bands on prom.
That's crazy.
Do y'all know how much money $22,000 is?
A lot.
That ain't a little bit of money.
Nope. At all.
But the other nations giving $22,000 to couples young couples that's getting married. That's a down payment on a house.
Right.
Yeah.
These things we look at this.
Yep.
Look at this is crazy.
Press play.
That look like somebody mama up there.
Yep.
Girl have her whole family have shirts made like she graduated. If you didn't read the caption on some of these prom videos, you would think they was getting married. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't y'all still have school after you do prom? It's not like the last day of school. We got fire I seen a girl with a choir. When the prom gets so serious.
What?
At this point, I'm making a prom epidemic documentary. I need everybody that's having these extravagant proms, DM me and we need to talk about what's going on. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Prom really not even lit like that. After prom is better than the prom. Trying to figure out what y'all gonna do, where y'all gonna go. That's the best part of prom night. You know what? Now we banning prom.
Pause.
Wow.
Now, you know what's crazy about this? When you look, most of the neighborhoods where these things are taking, they middle class neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They ain't balling like that. They ain't middle class people are broke. They just make enough to pay their bills. That's what it is.
Yep.
So like the sister that called in said, they getting loans and everything. These are the false burdens. But I gotta go back to my brother Lou Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor.
It's because these pastors corrected them.
Yep.
Because the pastors are not teaching them who they are. They let these things continue because guess what? The same way prom is getting, their pockets is getting lined the same way. Hey, let's scroll through some of these comments. I want to read some of these comments.
Comments is crazy.
Hey, some of these women.
Scroll down.
Pastors' daughters.
Scroll down. Let's see some of them. It says $20K on prom and not no funds for college. Damn. Scroll down. It says they treating prom like it's the Met Gala. The parents are to be blamed. Scroll down. Hold on. It says my child just gonna hate me because this ain't happening. All praises. I blame the parents. I don't know. I guess in 10 years I gotta send my kid to prom in a spaceship. A documentary is not a bad idea. I'm interested in what happens with these families after some of the most extravagant prom. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. $22K on prom.
Do a show on that.
Yeah, it's a $22K on prom, then applying for FAFSA to go to community college. It's wild.
Damn. Hey,
So,
can I get one, Cat?
Yeah, bring it out.
Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 1 real quick.
Bring it out.
Because the issue, like you said, the pastors ain't teaching them. They don't understand who they are. And that's the spirit of an ungodly person, right? Read this.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 1. Come on! For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
Now jump to verse 6, because what we establishing, the ungodly thing, they got to live a YOLO lifestyle. You only live once, so you might as well just live it up right now. You might do it up. This is what the ungodly does. Go ahead.
Verse 6, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present.
Let's enjoy the good things. We got to live it up right now. Go ahead.
And let us speedily use the creatures like as in you.
That's the fornication. Go ahead.
Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointment.
Let's fill ourselves with the costly. Let's get the best of the best. Go ahead.
Right. YOLO.
And let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Let's not reduce any expense. We're going to spend it all right now. Go ahead.
Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this.
So the reason why they're doing the ungodly does that because they think this is all they have to live for. This is the right. They got to live for the right now. So we're going to spend it all right now. We're going to live it up, and then we're going to work. Then we'll think about what happens tomorrow. We'll try to figure it out later on. But that's not the way that we're supposed to think, because we're building a nation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. All praise. Hey, it's 8:58, y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. I want to give a shout out to the IT. Shout out to the broadcast.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example.